Japan, land of the great rising tech, anime, heaven for foodies, maid cafes, and superbly polite citizens, ranked one of the most safest countries to visit and leading in largest producers for motor vehicles. How did Japan get here? What were they like before? A country with great honor and courage also had its atrocities. Before we get into the terror of World War II, we're gonna take you back to the Sengoku period, year 1467 to 1603. Japan experienced a time of intense civil conflict with numerous regional lords striving for power. Now, because there was an absence of strong central government, it led to a state of near constant warfare, as different factions sought to expand their influence and secure the resources. During this period, the samurais would engage in violent acts against civilians. Why? Economic hardship. Samurais would resort to looting, pillaging, and killing civilians as they moved through different territories. There were instances where if a samurai felt disrespected by a civilian,
Finish him!
the samurai would kill the civilian on sight. The samurais even had the authority to do so without any consequences, Kirisute Gomen, which literally translates to authorization to cut and leave. The act of killing civilians because of disrespect was seen as a means to assert authority, uphold the samurai's honor, and maintain social order. So apple doesn't fall far from the tree after all. Because from the invasion of China in 1937 to the end of World War II, the Japanese military regime has killed over 6 to 10 million people in China. The women in China were enslaved, and the men were killed. They would even stack the heads of the Chinese civilians, then pose for the photo like they are winning a trophy. There is so much more terror that we cannot say. The Japanese military unit, Unit 731, conducted inhumane experiments on humans, including vivisections and biological weapons. They used various biological weapons in China on the Chinese civilians. Those biological weapons included cholera, anthrax, and worse, the bubonic plague. This led to the widespread of death and suffering. If the soldiers didn't kill them, the disease would have. China and Chinese weren't the only place and people they tortured. The Japanese authorities even compelled British, Australian, and Dutch prisoners of war to work hard labor, specifically the construction of Burma Thailand Railway, aka the Death Railway. Many of the POWs starved to death, and those who were caught trying to escape or eat without permission were executed. There were instances where they even crucified POWs. An Australian POW by the name of Ringer Edwards was sentenced to die by crucifixion along with 2 others, after being caught killing a cattle to alleviate starvation. His other POW comrades smuggled him food, saving his life. Edwards managed to free his right hand, despite wires and nails were driven to his right hand. Edwards miraculously survived 63 hours being crucified before being let down. He survived World War II and later returned to Australia after the surrender of Japan. He went on to settle down at Gingin, West Australia, even after the surrender of Japan in August 15, 1945. The same day Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender, Japanese soldiers in Fukuoka resisted and refused to surrender. More than a dozen American POWs held in Fukuoka camps were taken to mountainside execution sites and were beheaded. We hope those soldiers face justice after that. And that's it for today's video. We hope this video was informative and thanks for sticking around till the end. See you in the next one.